5 questions, 1 pyramid, and answers that mainstream history has never given you. This is the complete pyramid series, and by the end, everything you thought you knew will change. They told you slaves built the pyramids. Well, they lied to you.
In 1990, archaeologists found the workers' city right next to Giza. These were not slaves. They were skilled craftsmen, paid workers, with their own cemeteries, their own medical care, and bear rations from the pharaoh. The slave myth was invented by the Greeks centuries after Egypt's greatest era. The actual builders were honored specialists, and most of them were African. So if enslaved people didn't build it, who really did? And how did they move 2.3 million stone blocks, each weighing up to 80 tons, with no modern machinery? That answer is stranger than anything they taught you. And I'm covering it next week.
Yesterday I told you slaves didn't build the pyramids. Today I'm going to tell you how it was actually done. The answer has divided historians, engineers, and archaeologists for over a century.
2.3 million stone blocks. The heaviest weighing 80 tons. That is heavier than 10 fully loaded trucks. Modern engineers have tried to replicate the construction using today's technology. They struggled. So how did people in 2500 BC do it? 3 theories. Only one makes complete sense. And none of them are in your textbook. Theory 1. Ramps. The most accepted explanation: workers used massive mud brick ramps to drag blocks upward. Problem: the ramp itself would have required more material than the pyramid. The math simply does not work. Theory 2. Internal spiral ramp. French architect Jean-Pierre Houdin proposed in 2007 that the ramp was built inside the pyramid, spiraling upward through the structure itself. Infrared scanning of the pyramid's interior showed anomalies. Hollow spaces. Exactly where Houdin predicted. Theory 3, and this is the one that changes everything. Water. Ancient Egyptian papyrus, discovered in 2013, describes workers pouring water in front of sledges carrying the blocks. Wet sand reduces friction by 50%. A team of 20 people could move an 80-ton block on wet sand. 20 people. We dismissed them as primitive. They were solving physics problems we only confirmed in the 21st century.
But here is what nobody asks. The Great Pyramid is aligned to true north with an accuracy of 0.05 degrees. The most accurate compass in the world today achieves 0.1 degrees. They were more precise than our best instruments. Without satellites, without computers, without steel. Who taught them that? That question leads somewhere very dark. And I am covering it next week. Follow Rechiq AI. Because this story is not finished yet. 2 days ago, I told you who built the pyramids. Yesterday, I told you how. Today, I have to ask the question that mainstream history refuses to answer. Who taught them?
The Great Pyramid was not one of many attempts that got better over time. It was one of the first. And it is still the most precise. Think about what that means. The first time humanity attempted something this complex. They did it perfectly. No rough drafts. No failed prototypes. No learning curve. Where did that knowledge come from? Here is what the numbers say. The perimeter of the Great Pyramid divided by its height equals 2 times pi. Pi. The mathematical constant that defines every circle. Built into a pyramid in 2500 BC. The Greeks formally defined pi centuries later. And received all the credit. Someone knew pi before Greece existed. And encoded it in stone. In Africa. Now the alignment. The pyramid faces true north with 0.05 degrees of accuracy. But here is what I didn't tell you before. In 2500 BC, there was no North Star. The Earth's axis has shifted since then. The star we use today for navigation, Polaris, was not in that position when the pyramid was built. So what did they use? What star? What method? What knowledge allowed them to point a structure more accurately than our best modern compass toward a star that didn't exist yet in that position? Nobody has a complete answer. Nobody.
3 episodes, 3 questions answered, and every answer creates a bigger question. Who were these people really? And what else did they build that we haven't found yet? Because there is something inside the pyramid. 4 hidden chambers, sealed, never opened. What is inside them is the subject of tomorrow's episode. And I promise you, you are not ready for it. Follow Rechiq AI. Because this hen is where it gets truly dark. I made you a promise. 4 sealed chambers, never opened. Today I keep that promise, and what I found is bigger than the pyramid itself.
For centuries we believed the Great Pyramid had 3 main chambers. The King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and the Grand Gallery, a soaring corridor that connects them. Then in 2017, everything changed. A team of international scientists launched the Scan Pyramids project. They used muon imaging, the same technology used to see inside active volcanoes, to scan the pyramid without touching a single stone. What they found, nobody was prepared for. A hidden void above the Grand Gallery, 30 meters long, the size of a passenger aircraft. Never recorded, never mapped, never mentioned in any ancient text. It had been sitting there, completely unknown, for 4,500 years. And here is what disturbs me most. They found it in 2017. It is now 2026. It has still not been opened. Nobody has gone inside. And the Egyptian authorities have not announced any plans to do so. Why? In 2013, a team of German researchers gained access to a small shaft inside the pyramid. A shaft that Egyptologists had debated for years. Inside, they found traces of ancient paint, red ochre markings. They took samples. They were prosecuted. The samples were confiscated. The lead researchers were banned from Egypt. Paint samples from a shaft that has been there for 4,500 years. What exactly are they protecting?
I want to be clear. I am not telling you what is inside that chamber, because nobody knows. What I am telling you is that the people with all power to find out pain are choosing not to, or choosing not to tell us. 4 episodes, 1 pyramid, and we still have not reached the bottom of this. The final episode is the one that pulls everything together. Who they really were, what they really knew. And the theory so dangerous, Tauf, that mainstream historians refuse to put their name on it. Follow Rechiq AI. The finale changes everything.
5 days.
5 questions.
5 questions. And every answer pointed at the same thing. Today, I am going to say what the evidence actually suggests. Not what is comfortable. Not what is safe. What the documented facts, when placed together, actually point toward. And then you decide what you believe.
Let us place everything we know side by side. 1. The Great Pyramid was one of the earliest major pyramids built. And it remains the most precise structure ever constructed on Earth. 2. Pi was encoded into its dimensions before any civilization officially knew what pi was. 3. It is aligned to true north more accurately than our best modern instruments, using a star that was not in that position when it was built. 4. A hidden void the size of a passenger aircraft sits inside it. Confirmed by science. Still not opened. 5. The people who got closest to answers were removed. When you place these 5 facts side by side, There is only one honest question left. What level of knowledge? What civilization? What understanding of mathematics, astronomy, and engineering had to exist before the first stone was placed? The theory that mainstream Egyptology refuses to formally engage with is not about aliens. Let me be clear about that. It is about time. A growing number of independent geologists, astronomers, and engineers, including Boston University geologist Dr. Robert Schoch, have presented peer-reviewed evidence suggesting that advanced civilization on this planet is significantly older than our official timeline allows. The Sphinx, which sits beside the pyramids, shows water erosion patterns on its body. The last time it rained heavily enough in that region to cause that level of erosion was between 7,000 and 10,000 BC. The official date for the Sphinx is 2500 BC. Someone built the Sphinx up to 7,500 years before Egypt officially existed. And the mainstream response to this peer-reviewed geological evidence is silence. There is a word historians use when a civilization appears in the record with no clear predecessor, no archaeological trail, no evidence of the learning curve that every other civilization shows. They call it a pristine civilization. Ancient Egypt is classified as one. But pristine does not mean first, it means we have not found what came before it yet.
I started this series with one question.
Yeah.
Who built the pyramids?
Yeah.
5 days later, that question has become something much larger. Not just who built it, but who were we before we forgot? The official story of human civilization has a beginning that everyone agrees on. The evidence does not.
Yeah.
The pyramid series is complete.
Yeah.
But the story of what was hidden and who hid it is just beginning. Tomorrow we leave Egypt, and what we find will make the pyramid look simple. Follow Rechiq AI. The pyramid series is complete, but the story of hidden history is just beginning. The Library of Alexandria series is live now. Subscribe to Rechiq AI and follow the full story as it unfolds.